Hi everyone, hope you're all okay. We're on chapter 3 today. Chapter 3 is called Pink, Pink, Nothing But Pink. I wonder what happened to Bill today. I hope he's going to be okay and it's not too much of a nightmare. Here we go then. After break it was art. Everyone helped to unfold the large plastic sheets and lay them over the tabletops and spread the old newspapers on top of them. Then Mrs. Collins sent Layla into the dark cupboard at the back of the classroom to see what was left in the art supplies box. Are there any coloured chalks left? No, they're all gone. Pastels then? They're still too damp to use after the roof leak. What about clay? It's all dried up. There must be crayons. Every class has crayons. The infants came and borrowed ours last week and they haven't brought them back yet. Right then, we'll just have to paint as usual. So Layla dragged the heavy cardboard box full of paint tubs out of the cupboard and everyone crowded round to choose their colours. Here's a pink. What's that one? Pink. More pink. Pink. Oh, I've found some blue. No, I haven't. It's empty. I thought I'd found some green, but it's all dried up. There's no white. There's never any white. We haven't had any white for years and years. There's some pink here. And this one's pink. Pink, pink, nothing but pink. Everyone stood up, disappointed. Kirsty's voice voiced everyone's disgust. What can you do with pink? She demanded. You can't paint pink dogs or pink space vehicles or pink trees or pink battlefields, can you? If you can only find one colour, it's difficult enough. But if you've only got pink, it's practically impossible. What is there in the world that's all pink? Yes, what's all pink? Everyone gazed around the room looking for something that was all pink so they could paint it. Some of them stared at the pictures and posters pinned on the classroom walls. Others gazed out the window across the playground to the street or the shops. One or two of them glanced at one another. And Kirsty looked at Bill. No, said Bill. No, not me. Absolutely not. You can't. Now everyone turned to look at Bill. No, Bill insisted. I am not all pink. Now Mrs. Collins too was inspecting Bill closely. Pink frock, she admitted slowly, and fiery hair, rosy freckles, and a nice deep blush. Yes, you'll do beautifully, my dear. You're all pink. I am not pink. But he was getting pinker by the minute, and by the time everyone had wandered back to their seats clutching their little plastic tubs of paint, you wouldn't have needed any other colour to do a really fine portrait of him. Perfect, said Mrs. Collins. And taking Bill Simpson firmly by the hand, she tried to lead him over towards a chair in the middle of the room, where everyone would be able to see him clearly while they painted him. There's a picture of Bill not wanting to be painted. Oh dear, it's not a good day, is it? Bill tried to pull back. Miss Collins turned in astonishment at his unwillingness and let go of his hand quite suddenly. Bill staggered back, straight into Nicky, who had just prized the top off his paint tub. A huge glob of pink paint flew up into the air and landed on Bill Simpson's frock. As everyone watched, it gathered itself, all fat and heavy at the bottom. Then slowly it slithered down between the folds of material, leaving a thick pink slug trail. Bill Simpson watched in silence as a small pool of pink paint appeared on the floor beside his left foot. Grubby fingerprints round the hem, a huge muddy smudge on the front, a great slimy paint smear down the side. What next? Miss Collins inspected the damage and shrugged. Well, never mind, she said. It's only poster paint. I'm sure the frock will wash out beautifully. Well, never mind, she said. It's only poster paint. I'm sure the frock will wash out beautifully. And once again, she took his hand. There was no fight left in Bill Simpson. Meekly, he allowed himself to be led to the middle of the room. Miss Collins arranged him neatly and comfortably on a little wooden chair. There, she said triumphantly, placing a cherry-coloured exercise book in one of his hands as a last touch. All pink. She stepped back to admire her handiwork. Perfect, she said again. Now, is everyone happy? Bill Simpson could have tried to say something then, but he didn't bother. He reckoned there was no point. He knew that whatever he said and whatever he did, this awful day would just keep sailing on in its own way, as in a dream. A curse was on him, a pink curse. He was full of all things haunted by a pretty pink frock with fiddly shell buttons. He might as well give up struggling. Like poor Rapunzel trapped in her high stone tower, he'd just sit quietly, waiting to see what happened, hoping for rescue. Meanwhile, the rest of the class had begun to complain. If we've only got pink paint to paint with, how are we supposed to do that great big football-shaped smudge on the front of the frock? It's brown. I can't paint all those grubby little fingerprints right round the hem of the dress because they're grey. Those shell buttons are a bit fiddly to paint. I've done far too many freckles. What shall I do? Wait till they're dry and then chips them off. There he is, looks on his chair. Looking less than happy. Bill ignored everyone. He just sat there waiting for time to go by. Even a bad dream couldn't last forever. His torment had to end sometime, surely. After half an hour or so, Miss Collins came by carrying a fresh jar of water over to table 2. Do try not to look quite so gloomy, dear, she murmured in Bill's ear as she walked past. You're spoiling people's paintings. And Bill was too miserable and defeated to even bother to scowl at the back of her head as she moved off. And there's Astrid's painting of Bill. Oh, poor Bill. He didn't even get to paint himself. Bless. Next chapter, chapter 4, is called No Pockets. So we still don't know if it's a dream. He thinks he's in a dream, because it said, didn't it? It was like some kind of dream. The days just kept sailing by in its own little way as in a dream. I hope it is a dream for Bill's sake, because he's not having a good day, is he? Well, we'll find out tomorrow what happens in chapter 4, No Pockets. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow for some more. Take care. Bye.